In this captivating video, we explore the fascinating stories behind some of the most incredible items to ever grace the doors of the famous Pawn Stars shop. From a mysterious rare gem to a tiara once worn by a former First Lady, and from a ring with ties to the Vatican to a meteorite from outer space, each piece comes with its unique history and potential worth. Join us as we follow Rick and his team of experts as they untangle the secrets behind these remarkable objects, all while navigating the high-stakes world of negotiations and authenticity. Will they strike a deal or walk away empty-handed? Before we get started, like, comment, and subscribe to Infinite Lux. Quite, our first customer walks in with a rare gem in his hands. Rick, the expert pawnbroker, is immediately intrigued. After a brief discussion, Rick decides to bring in a specialist to take a closer look at this unique stone. Could this be a valuable discovery? Stay tuned to find out.
Family heirloom. Check that out. It's a kunzite.
Sure it's just not a fancy piece of glass?
It's been in my family for generations and generations. That's all I know. I'm gonna get 15 grand out of Rick. I mean, it's gotta happen.
All right, do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I guess it's an evening stone or something.
Yeah, the reason they call it an evening stone is because kunzite can actually fade in sunlight. Jewelry you're supposed to wear in the evening. I'm gonna have Jeff, my gemologist, check it out. Davey says this is kunzite.
Let's do some tests. I was pretty excited because I don't always see kunzite. All stones have clarity characteristics which can help identify them. If it's glass, most likely there's going to be air bubbles. And so what I can see in here are inclusions that tell me that this is natural. But I won't know if it's a natural kunzite until I do other tests. This is a refractive index machine, and it measures the way light goes through the stone. And as I can see through here, it has the right refractive index to be kunzite. So yes, this is
a real kunzite. How much money?
Something of this nature, with this size, I'd probably estimate $30 to $50 a carat.
Okay, how many carats does it weigh?
323.8 carats.
So we're talking at $30 a carat, right at 9,600 bucks, right in that neighborhood?
Yeah, ballpark.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
I feel it's worth 15 grand.
I'll give you 5 grand. It's gonna sit for a long time.
15 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand. I'll go 10 G's.
No.
Please? Where are we gonna end? Meet in the middle? 7,500?
I'll give you 6 grand.
7,500?
6 grand.
65? Come on, Rick. Be a little bit more reasonable.
All right, 65.
All right.
Baltic Amber. Next up, we have a customer who brings in something very old. It turns out to be a piece of Baltic Amber, a fossilized resin that dates back millions of years. Rick and his team examine the item closely, trying to determine its authenticity and value. Will this ancient treasure lead to a successful deal?
I think it's a little bit older than dirt. It's between 40 and 50 million years old. What I have is a piece of Baltic Amber with a tarantula in it.
GIA. They are the world's foremost authority in gem grading and gem identification. If you want, you can pay for us to send it.
Well, that sounds good. I'll do that.
What's up, man?
It's a Baltic Amber.
Chum, you help this gentleman?
Oh, yeah, this guy. Jeff probably got the results back. So what do the test results say?
They say it is plastic.
What?
Plastic.
This sucks.
Diamond tiara. Imagine owning a piece of history worn by a former First Lady. That's exactly what happens when a customer brings in a diamond tiara that once belonged to Ida McKinley. The expert meticulously checks the quality of the diamonds, providing valuable insights. Will Rick make an offer on this presidential piece?
Guy brought in a diamond tiara that belonged to First Lady Ida McKinley. He thinks it's worth $75,000. So I called in my buddy Greg. Check this thing out.
The diamonds are fine quality for the period. The idea that this was convertible and has the fittings, it's seen in this official White House First Lady photograph. This is one of the events that was going on at the McKinley Museum. It's featured there.
What would it go in your store?
In a retail store like Fred Leighton, we would see this piece sell for $75,000.
Sort of what he's wanting, so we're gonna have to talk a little bit, but thanks, man, I appreciate it.
Cardinal Ring. A customer claims to have a ring given to a cardinal by the Pope himself. Rick is skeptical about its authenticity and decides to seek a second opinion. The stones are tested and the truth is revealed. Was this a genuine holy relic or a clever fabrication?
I have a Cardinals ring I'd like to sell you.
Baseball or football?
Neither. This kind.
Oh, this kind.
That's right. I recently acquired it from a friend of mine. My bottom dollar is $6,300.
This is supposedly from a cardinal?
It's from the 19th century, and we know that because of the jeweler, a gentleman by the name of Fromont Marie.
Fromont Maurice is a big name in jewelry. If this was manufactured by them, it's worth a lot more money. You know what the center stone is?
It's a garnet, I believe.
It could be a garnet, yeah. So how much do you want for it?
For the ring itself, I'd love to get $6,000.
I have to verify that it's actually a Cardinal's ring.
This is how we're going to recognize your office. The Pope presents you with a ring. So one of the things that you want to find is some sign of the church. In the 19th century, any ring coming from the Pope would have most likely the crossed keys of St. Peter's on it. Unfortunately, there is no other symbology of the Pope on this ring. It is probably not a ring of office.
Thanks, man. You're the best. Before I make you an offer, I want to go test the stones, look at them underneath a microscope.
This is a Hessonite Groschlerite garnet.
It's a garnet.
Yes, orange garnet. They have different varieties.
All right, it's a garnet. Those are emeralds.
Okay.
$1,500.
Won't do $1,500.
The best I can do is $2,000, period. The other problem with this ring is a big problem on a ring. It's unsizable. $2,000, I'm not gonna go a penny more.
You got a deal.
Apparently you're blessed.
Scarab Ring. An elderly woman enters the shop hoping to find out if her scarab ring is genuine. She provides a note that supposedly proves its authenticity. An expert is called in to examine the ring and share their findings. What secrets will be uncovered about this mysterious piece of jewelry?
I have here an Egyptian scarab ring, and I'd like to know if this is the real thing or not.
Okay. It's a scarab. Way back in Egypt, everybody had one. It looks like an old scarab, but the question is it really 3,000 years old?
Oh, that is the card from the guy that sold it over in Egypt.
And how much would that be for?
I would like $15,000.
Do you mind if I have someone look at it?
Oh, that would be great.
The Egyptians put the scarab on rings, they put it on necklaces, and even on the entryways to the Egyptian temples. That's how important of a symbol the scarab was.
So is it real?
So that maybe you guys can see as well, right there is a sun, a rake, and a scarab. And that says to me 18th dynasty. And King Tut came from this dynasty. Now the second thing you have to look at, can you see the rope work on there? That sort of gold work is very indicative of like turn of the century.
So this is probably a real scarab though.
I think that is a real scarab. It looks 3,000 years old.
Okay, so what do you think it's worth?
$250.
So $250 plus like $200 in gold.
So you're looking at right around $450 to $500.
Thanks, man. You're the best.
Thank you very much.
I would give you right around $350 for it.
500.
No.
375.
I'll tell you what, I will give you $360.
All right, I'll take it.
We got a deal then.
We got
All
a
right.
deal.
Meteorite. A meteorite hunter brings in a meteorite found in Southern California, and Rick wastes no time calling in an expert to assess this otherworldly object. Will this space rock command an astronomical price?
I have something here that is out of this world. A meteorite. Today, I would like to get $4,700 for my stone.
What's it made out of?
The nickel, iron, and just ordinary chondritic stone. And it's from material melting off of it as it comes into the atmosphere. It's only been on the ground for maybe 3 to 5 months. And the fact that it's still rusted shows that the patina hasn't worn off yet.
I mean, it's not of this earth.
Yeah, it traveled billions of miles to land here and in your hand.
I want someone to look at it. He'll do whatever he does. He'll be able to tell me it's a meteorite right here. How much did you want for it?
I'd like to get $4,700.
I mean, is it a meteorite?
So tell me a little more about how you found this.
Well, this was found on a dry lake in Southern California. I hit it with my magnet.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. You saw how that danced on there? Strong attraction. What you're looking for is whether it has these round grains of metal. Also has these round spheres of silicates.
So it's a meteorite?
That rock is older than this planet. Chris, tell me about where the other piece of this is.
The other piece is actually at UCLA right now.
What do you think it's worth?
This is a graded, cataloged meteorite, a $4,000 meteorite.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. These are the oldest rocks in the solar system.
I have to resell this. I'll give you $1,800.
Could you do $2,250?
Right. Can we take $2,000 for it?
No, I can't go that low.
I mean,
It'll look beautiful in here under the light.
I'll give you 21. I won't give you a dime more.
$2,100 sounds fair.
Okay, deal, man.
Thank you very much.
Liberace Jewelry. A man brings in a piece of jewelry owned by the legendary entertainer Liberace. An expert is brought in to evaluate these extravagant pieces, and Rick is prepared to negotiate a deal. Will he add some Liberace flair to his collection?
I have the most important piece of jewelry by a Las Vegas icon, Liberace.
I mean, the guy was pretty amazing. My grandma loved Liberace.
I'm hoping to get $25,000.
So where did you get this?
I got it at an auction.
Liberace was a huge celebrity in his day. He was one of the biggest stars in Vegas. So to have one of his signature jewelry pieces would be absolutely amazing. Here's a picture of him wearing it. And here's just a picture of him in front of the piano. See, he wore some suits.
Oh, wow.
So how much you want for it?
I'm looking for $25,000.
I don't see 25 grand here. I just don't. I see 10. How much you get it for an auction?
I didn't want to disclose that.
10 grand, I think, is a fair offer.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Well, thanks for bringing it in, man.
Okay, thank you.
Lucky Luciano ring. Things take a turn for the notorious when a man brings in a ring that once belonged to the infamous mafia member, Lucky Luciano. Rick is intrigued but cautious. After hearing the seller's offer, he decides to consult an expert. Will this ring have a lucky outcome for Rick?
I have a piece of antique heirloom jewelry that my mother passed along to me. It was the signet ring of the mafia boss, Lucky Luciano. If anybody got possession of this piece, until now, there would have been bloodshed and war within the families. There's an individual whose name I cannot use that gave this to my mother. My mother was a woman who did special services for these people because she had their personal confidence, and she was given it to protect it. The rubies are set as the eyes, but there's even the tear. I mean, Luciano was a mobster. He killed people.
You got any paperwork on this?
You won't find any paperwork on it. I've gone to as many archives as I can come up with.
If it really did belong to Lucky Luciano, it could be worth some huge money to the right collector. Have an idea what you wanted for it?
It's gonna be 6 figures.
Wow. Lucky Luciano is a very big deal. If this is Lucky Luciano's ring, you'd be looking at something that would be worth tens of thousands of dollars.
I was told it probably was manufactured in the late 1800s, but I don't have any way of proving that.
You're the curator of the Mob Museum. I'm sure you've seen thousands of photos of Lucky Luciano. You ever see any of them with that ring or anything like that?
This particular design is not something that I'm familiar with. Unfortunately, I just don't think we can conclude that this is Lucky Luciano's ring.
It's just a story. Thanks, Jonathan. At this point, I'd keep on doing some research. Maybe you can find a picture. Maybe you can find some evidence. There's nothing I can do.
Boston Red Sox ring. A Bostonian enters the shop with an authentic 2004 World Series ring. The owner shares some fascinating details about the ring and makes an offer. Will Rick hit a home run with this deal, or will it be a swing and a miss?
The holy grail of all championship rings, 2004 Boston Red Sox World Series ring.
No way.
I'm hoping to get $89,000. I'd like to sell the ring today just to free up some money and maybe put it on a down payment for a house. I came across it through a sports memorabilia dealer in Boston.
Yeah, this is the quintessential true baseball. I mean, Boston's sports area sports thing.
Exactly. Ring belonged to Brandon Puffer. I know that it's one of 51 player rings.
His greatest comeback in history, 2004. All the diamonds are real. And they made it out of 18 karat. That's rare for a sports ring. How much do you want for the ring?
Well, I'd like $89,000 for it.
Typically on something like this, I'd offer you around 60 grand. You have one huge problem with this ring, that it's a Brandon Puffer.
And this guy has quite the reputation. He was sent to prison for intent of sexual assault, a felony.
Let me give you my argument. It's still a player's ring. I look at it as, all right, here's a guy. Obviously, he had his off-field problems. When I put on his ring, I feel, wow, this guy, he's turning his life around. That, I don't know.
Yeah, he gets out in 2014. You know, buddy, at the end of the day, if this had anybody else's name on it, I would offer you 60 grand for it. It's just that ring right there is probably the one Red Sox rings from '04 that's not worth any money to me. Have a good day. Thanks for bringing it in. It was really cool to see.
Atlanta Braves ring. A customer presents a World Series ring from the Atlanta Braves. The question on everyone's mind is whether a deal will be made. Rick and his team evaluate the ring's authenticity and significance. Will this be a winning transaction?
I have Atlanta Braves 1995 World Series ring. Team of the 90s. Got there 7 times and then finally won World Series in 95. Hoping to get $13,000 inside. Yeah, I got it from a buddy of mine who needed the money, and I thought it'd be a good investment.
This belonged to Ted, and he issued it or gave it away. Could make it worth more. The first championship rings were given to the Giants in 1922 when they beat the Yankees.
So what do you want to do with it, my man?
Yeah, I want to sell it. Yeah, I'd like to get $13,000 for it.
You mind if I have a buddy come down and take a look at it?
What concerns did you have with the ring?
It's a staff ring. I know there's a huge difference in price between a staff ring and a player's ring.
Let's take a look at the ring here. We have a large diamond set on top of a blue stone, and we're going to have 18 smaller diamonds surrounding it. So on the inside, we should see the Jostens logo.
Unfortunately, this isn't even a staff ring. This is what they call a salesman sample. They're provided to the team beforehand so they can get a look at the ring, see if they like it, approve it, and they make it from there. There's no doubt that this is what we would call a salesman sample.
Okay.
With the original box and everything, you're looking at around $2,000.
All right. I would offer you around $800.
Oh, that's okay. And I'll just take it home.
All right, my man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
NBA championship ring. A customer wants to purchase an NBA championship ring for his fiancée. Rick and his team work to find the perfect ring that fits both the customer's budget and his fiancée's style. Will they score a slam dunk with this romantic gesture?
Just got engaged. Heard you had a 75 Golden State Warriors ring, and I was thinking that would be perfect for my fiance.
That is a brave man that would give his fiance a championship ring. Must have really big hands.
She's gonna love this. I love the underdog. As far as pictures are concerned, they match up.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Have you tested the diamond?
Oh, yeah, it's a real diamond.
What I wanted to do, just for my own sanity, to test the diamond.
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. It's not testing.
That's because you have a really cheap tester. So the problem was you had the diamond tester sitting on it. The diamond's too hot right now.
Do you have one of your own?
Yeah, I have my own stuff over there.
I will trust that.
No, it's all legit.
I guess what it comes down to is price.
For $11,500, it can be yours.
Well, that's your asking price.
I go $11,000.
I'm looking at like $5,500.
There's no way. I paid more than that. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I'm disappointed, but it's your property. You got to do what's in your best interest.
All right, no problem, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Civil War buttons. Take a step back in time as a seller discovers Civil War era buttons in her house. These historical artifacts pique Rick's interest, and he carefully examines them. Will both parties come to an agreement on the value of these buttons from a bygone era?
I have some Civil War Navy buttons that I want to sell.
Did you tear apart a jacket or something? Or?
I'm hoping to get $1,300 for them.
So you got any of the backstory on them, or?
I found them in a house that I purchased, and I found out that the previous owner's grandfather was enlisted in the Navy during the Civil War.
It's got the eagle, it's holding the anchor. Obviously, it's Navy.
So what exactly are you looking for?
I just want to make sure they don't say made in China or something on them. But they're made by different people, so that kind of makes me wonder if they're all from the same period. Do you have any idea of what you might want to get out of them?
I'm hoping $1,300.
Kind of in a predicament here. I need to get somebody down here and kind of tell me exactly what these buttons are.
Oh yeah, if we hadn't had the Union Navy, we wouldn't have been able to blockade all the ports south. That made a huge difference. It intercepted a lot of the firearms that the South was trying to bring in, so it was an effective fort.
Is there any way to actually tell for sure they're Civil War?
We didn't change the design on these buttons. What we have to look at in order to tell whether they're Civil War is who made them and how they marked them. Oh, that's nice. That one was actually made in London. Now that's a different one. And some of these are not easy. I think these are Civil War buttons.
Wow.
This is they either 1850s or early 1860s.
All right, gave me everything I needed, buddy. Told me earlier, $1,300. I'm sure there's probably like a grading system for these. Pristine ones like this one, I would say is in really good shape. Compared to this one, not so much. I'll start off around $200.
How about $1,000?
I'll go up to $400. I'm not paying any more though.
$600 and you have a deal.
I'll pay you $500.
All right, you got a deal.
Deal? You gonna pack these up and meet me over there?
And that marks the end of this video, filled with rare finds, historical treasures, and exciting negotiations. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Infinite Lux for more thrilling content. Click here to watch our latest video,